Very conscious that anything we did in January had to have an impact on that season, and we thought he was that impact player. The discussions have been very positive.
Confidence is high the deal worth up to £7 million will happen. Both clubs have been keen to complete since the start of the transfer window.
We have a deal that we are monitoring really so closely, and I hope that close today or tomorrow. Now I feel that we are discussing little details. When you are discussing little details, is the last part of the transfer. But it's true, make a transfer is not easy because you need to agree player, entourage of the player, agent, club that sell, club that buy. It's 5 people need to be agreed, and this is not easy, but it's really tough signing a player. It's a lot of things involved. If they sold another player, perhaps they don't want to sell this because they take the money for another. It's a lot of things that is out of your control for sign a player, and this is a bit frustration in my work because more times the influential of external situations can ruin your transfer. But okay, this is the rules, and we need to assume. I feel 80% now.
Right.
I feel 80%. I am a bit superstitious. I don't want to say more.
There's still a lot to do on the last day, but it is, once you're there in principle, in terms of the players' desire, the club's desire, the core financials, it's a case of progressing the paperwork and fine-tuning some of the minutiae in the contract.
Only 12 hours of the transfer window remain. It's tight, but everything is progressing as planned. As Angus attempts to tie up the loose ends of the deal, Dan James arrives at Thorpe Arch to undergo a medical.
It's been going crazy since he's ever been linked. Swansea fans saying stay, Leeds fans saying he coming when you coming, mate.
Can you get some kit printed up for trade tomorrow at Ellen Road? Any idea on numbers? See what's available.
21, mate, to be fair.
21?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Because we can get everything printed ready for you, see.
The medical is passed without a hitch. Dan James and his dad now travel to Ellen Road to sign his contract. They're greeted by Victor Orta, who had identified Dan James as the player to drive on Leeds' promotion push.
How are you? Nice to see you again. Wow. Hi, I'm Victor. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. All okay?
Yeah, good, thank you.
All okay? Long day? Oh, long days. Yeah. Long days. All okay?
Not too bad, yeah, that's good.
Do you want to bring your camera and get the shots for signing? I'll do the photo shoot now.
Okay.
Okay.
I got you okay?
As the deal heads towards a conclusion, team manager Matt Grice begins the process of settling the player into his new home.
Lovely, mate.
I'll get some options over the next few days.
Yeah, just give me a shout wherever, because obviously I don't know.
And then I'll just put everything in front of you, and if you want to have a view,
Yeah,
start some viewings.
Top man. I appreciate it.
But an unforeseen problem arises. Swansea's American owner, who is stateside, and their chief executive in Wales, cannot agree on the terms of James's proposed transfer to Ellen Road. Neither are returning Leeds United's calls or text messages.
We are waiting, okay?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's America, get Wales, Wales, America, Wales, Wales, America, Wales. This is
crazy.
But okay, we are near.
For sure,
Okay?
We know that.
It's kind of thing. How are you?
And as the night went on, I sat there watching it and we're thinking, bloody hell, then, is this going to get announced soon? Then how late they're going to leave it? Is it going to be a big thing later on? And later it got there, then a few of the boys started chucking in the group to Mooney, talk to us, then is it getting done here? And then Mooney's still at 9:30, 10 o'clock, lads, trust me, then it will get done, but the Swansea owner's just taking a bit longer to get back to us, but then everything's done, so now we are just waiting for a phone call back, sign off on it, it's all done.
There is now only 1 hour of the transfer window remaining. To save time, Dan James begins signing some of the paperwork in his new Leeds United contract.
Brilliant.
Perfect.
Well done.
Cheers.
Thank you. Congratulations.
No, still not. We'll wait.
We have one more document to sign, but we're just waiting for that. You don't need to do that yet.
Finally, Angus hears back from Swansea. It's not good news. The boardroom problems at the Welsh club means Leeds are struggling to get the deal over the line.
We put 750, say, okay, it's now or nothing. But he told with the other. He told with the other. He told with the other.
I think at 5 minutes to 11 we were trying to apply for the 15-minute extension to get the paperwork done on the basis that someone somewhere in Wales was going to answer one of my phone calls. Can Jason sign? Jason sign?
Despite a desperate last-minute effort from Leeds, they cannot get the deal over the line. Dan James remains a Swansea City player. The tired, emotional Victor Orta is crestfallen.
Yes, it did. It's just because I've been here all day and everything's done. I just want to sign it.
I don't know what's happening in the future now. With him, with us, after this situation, nobody win. Because Swansea, I think, have a player after this episode is really difficult. The player cannot get his dream, at least cannot get his player.
We really didn't get any sight of the fact it wasn't going to happen till the last hour. And that's never happened to me on a transfer before. Whilst from a fan's perspective, it clearly looked like a up. I think we were just the victim of you know, an unwitting victim of boardroom politics at the Swansea end. And it was unfortunate because, you know, we couldn't make the deal work for Daniel in the end. And I think it would have been a good deal for him, both for him and his family, but also from a football perspective.
They want this, yes. They want this, yes. They want this, yes. Respect your player, because you give permission to make to the medical. We are talking about people. This is with people that have feelings. And today is one of the most tough moments that I watch a player of 20 years old and his father. It never happened in my career.
Oh, see you.
See you later.
Thanks for your time next summer. Yeah, hopefully see you in summer.
Good luck with the documentary.
See you now, bye-bye.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday.
Yes. No?
Send me comments then.
We'll see you soon, eh?
See you later.